へえ。僕が金になびく男に見えるとでも？
見えるわ。
その通りだ。
How can an episode be so good and then suck at the same time? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Let me start right there. Let me start with the sucking part, right? As I think most of us would choose. But no, for real. So the reason I say it kind of sucks a little bit is this whole entire episode was building up to an event. And ultimately, I 100% know that event is going to occur next episode during episode number 4. But I was waiting for that one moment for the shit to hit the fan, for the shit to hit the bed, you know, for something to change the relationship between this new princess that we were introduced to, as well as Cid. I was waiting for like this one specific moment to occur during the episode that seemingly, you know, just didn't happen, right? So he gets into this new relationship with what's her name, Alexia or something like that. So he gets into this new relationship, and it's basically it's a sham. You know, she's using it as a front because she is currently betrothed to somebody, and you know, she doesn't want to be betrothed to them. She has a different plan for her life, so she's been using Cid via money, which I'll talk about all the other stuff. And basically, like, they're getting along, but like nothing has progressed their relationship. He's just like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, blah blah blah. And at the end of, at the tail end of the episode, right, when their relationship kind of crumbles and falls apart, at that moment, you know, he basically told her, like, I love your fencing. She hates her fencing style. He's like, I love your fencing style. You know, I hate when people talk about the things that I hate when people show disgust, or I hate when people talk shit about the things that I like. Basically, he broke her. But essentially, I was waiting for a bigger moment. I was waiting for their relationship to kind of take the next level. I was waiting for, like, an assassination attempt on her. You know, I was waiting for something, you know, specific, like, to happen to her. And he had to, like, suddenly save her. And he becomes... He gets different light... He gets different light shed on him. And she sees him in a different light than just this piece of trash, woof, woof, dog, dog kind of thing. And it just didn't happen. And because of that, I kind of felt unsatisfied by the end of the episode, right? And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, when I always talk about anime, like, in the grand scheme of things, if I was binge watching this anime, it wouldn't really matter. Like, this would be completely okay. I would just move on to the next episode and be immediately gratified by whatever's about to occur, with him getting, you know, with Alexia disappearing, with him seemingly needing to go find her, with this what's this guy's name, Zenon or something like that, whatever his or her betrothed is, start with a Z, Zenon, something like that. You know, I would be immediately gratified, but because me and you know, we have to wait another week now because we're watching a weekly. We have to wait another week. I'm left unsatisfied, and at the end of the day, it was a good episode, you know. So that's kind of the suck part of it. I was like, how can an episode be so good but then suck at the end, you know? Now, the rest of the episode, I think it was really good. So the things that I thought was the most interesting, because I want to make sure I cover this, is I was extremely excited to finally see how he died. And I know that kind of sounds, you know, morbid, but we were finally able to see how he dies. And essentially, this dude, he hit like a mental breakdown, and he was hitting his head against a rock. I think he was just facing his own mortality in that moment, and he kept yelling magic. Like, he wanted to find magic. He just kept yelling magic, magic, magic. And he, like, breaks, and he just thrust out into the street, and, you know, Truck-kun is like, oh, you want magic? Bah-bah. So I thought that was a really cool moment to see on how he actually died and what led up to that. Basically, he had this huge mental breakdown. And, you know, I know a few people, including myself, have kind of been thinking of, you know, maybe the world he lives in now, it's very much dictated by his thoughts, right? Like, he thought up the cult of the devil, the cult of the Diablos. He thought up this cult, so then they exist, right? So that leads me into the next thing, which I think that scene is important. Is he kept yelling magic, magic, and now he's suddenly in a world of magic. So I thought that was really important. Is like, it's like he manifested this world. So I thought that was a really important thing. We also got to see on why Alpha and all the rest of them, they left. They basically left this dude to go and fight the cult. They split into the four corners of the world, essentially. He thought that they were just tired of messing around with a child's imagination, and they were tired of following him. But in reality, this cult actually does exist, so they're really going out to go and fight this cult and to take it on and everything. But in his mind, he was thinking that, he was just a child having, moments of grandeur kind of thing. And they were just tired of going along with it. We also got to see him land in the royal capital. He's about to live his final fantasy because he's in the capital of Midgard now. He's been there for 7 months. I'm not a big fan of how we just progressed 7 months. Without kind of seeing on his first day of school, all this stuff, I'm also not happy about not seeing him interact with his sister at all. I'm also not happy about not finding out on how much time they spend in this school. They can start at 15, but the rest of the information is kind of spotty. So hopefully we get all those gaps filled in. I am happy to see that he was able to make 2 background characters. And then one of the rites of passage, because he doesn't live in the dorms, he lives in the boondies. As a backwater noble kind of thing. So one of the rites of passage of the kids who live in the boondies, right? The kids who aren't of, high nobility. One of the things they do for fun is they go and confess their love to somebody of high status. And that's kind of like a rite of passage. And he decides to do that, right? And he does it to Princess Alexia. Our boy was practicing, right? Like, he tried to have the worst confession ever. Like, he's going there, he's stuttering, he's shaking, he's like, he's like, princess. Like, he called, instead of princess, he called her princess. And she accepts him because obviously of everything that we talked about already. We got to see them go and fence together. And she kind of hates him because he's basically playing a fool as well. You know what I mean? So he's just good enough. We meet her betrothed, which is that Mr. Zenon guy, who is apparently, I guess he's either like a high year or a teacher or something. It seems like he's a teacher at this point, maybe part of the Night Guild or something. But he's the one who teaches fencing as well. And I love, last thing I want to talk about is I love the relationship that they built between Sid and between Alexia. They're both they're kind of shit stains, you know what I mean? Like, they're very real with each other. And she even went and interrogated his friends to figure out on, like, why did he start the relationship. I loved watching that. I hella laughed this episode, and I thought it was hilarious. I was just disappointed at the end of it. And I was also disappointed a little bit in not finding out some specifics I really wanted to know. But overall, like, I still say 8 out of 10 episode. I really enjoyed it. And I think that this is a moot point in the grand scheme of things. If we were to say, oh, all X amount of episodes are released, we can now binge watch it. This will become a moot point because you just move on to the next episode and get gratified. So I have to keep that in mind when reviewing, is that this is only a concern, or it only sucks because we don't get to see what's next. We have to wait. So let me know what you guys thought. What did you guys think about Princess Alexia? What did you guys think about the trouble that he found himself in at the end? What do you think he's going to do next? And obviously, Princess Alexia has now disappeared, so obviously he's going to go find her. Was she captured by the cult? Who knows? And I think it's going to be interesting because we'll probably see Alpha and Omega in them very soon. All right, my friends, I'll leave you guys on those thoughts there. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.